Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Thursday, February the 5th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get in, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. All right, well, another excellent trade today I only actually did two trades. Well, three trades. I traded one stock twice and then this one, IT. And IT showed up, and it's still here actually. If you remember yesterday's video, I've got my up and down the most in absolute dollars. And so this didn't actually show up in the pre-market. It only really started going down in the once the market opened. And you can see here's where I mean, it just started to collapse. And so this was one that, of course, I was identifying as something that could have a reversal. And we were actually, I'll just back up because we were actually watching this one, CLW. Now, this one was actually down in the pre-market and it just started to fall again, but I just found this one way too choppy. The spread was bad and it was just way too choppy and I never got into it. And you can see that, it certainly doesn't have the same look. If you can remember what this looks like, see this little, it's moving up. That looks pretty good. But compare that to ITW, oops, ITW, IT, which has this beautiful move like that. And I don't know why it's doing this. Let me just, there we go. Has this beautiful move like that. So it's got this catastrophic move down and then a very nice move up. So right now, what I'm really looking for, and I guess I'm going to call them these are the disaster stocks. I mean, this is down $6 right here, but at one point it was down, let's see, another $3 or so. So, this is almost down $10. So these are what I call the true disaster stocks, and want to keep an eye on them for the potential reversal. I mean, they don't all reverse. I mean, look at the CLW. It reversed, but you would have had to been your timing would have had to been exquisite to get into that one, and I just didn't feel I could do it. So let's take a look at how I did this and why I did it when I did it. So again, I'm watching this and then this is my first clue right here, a narrowing of the 5-minute candle. All right, so we started not getting, it looked like, okay, maybe a base has been put in. We've had a low here of 76.72, a low of 77.01. Now, would have been great if I'd got in right here, of course, but what happened is when I saw this candle here and it went through the whole number, this is 78, I decided to take the trade. And so I got in at 78.20, broke through the whole number. It just looked like it was going to have it looked like it was on its way. And I exited half at 79.54. So over a dollar, what's that, $1.24 on the first half. Watch it pull back a little bit, and then I held on, and then, boy, another great exit here at 80.80. So actually hoping, you see it got up to 81.26, but I actually said in the room I was looking for a bid of 81.20. I wanted $3 on it. I never got the bid of 81.20. It hit a high of 81.26, but the bid wasn't there. And then it came back down from there. So I figured enough was enough. I actually held on. This is wrong. I didn't sell right there. I actually held on as it came back up through there, 81.06, but I sold here on the second break of 81. So, no, a great trade. I mean, we're talking 78.20 to 80.80. What's that? $2.60. So, you don't need very many trades a week even like this. I mean, you don't need, if you do one of these a day, I mean, you can be set. Obviously it depends on how many shares you're taking. I realize that, but I mean, we're starting to, at least I'm starting to identify stocks like this right off the bat that we start to watch. And I said, look, watch these guys, watch them. Now, the the TDC. Now the TDC was another one. And unfortunately, I identified this in the pre-market. Here's where it closed yesterday, and you can see that it opened down here and it was starting to slide. But you see how it kind of popped, and then it got a little choppy. I mean, here's where the market opened, right there. There's the first candle, and so it got a little bit choppy. But I decided I definitely wanted to watch it, and it started to, again, here's that little narrower 5 minute candle. These are my clues that maybe finally we're getting a bit of a bottom in the stock. So, and it looked like it was holding right at this level, 41.34. But yeah, it was popping up, and of course it would have been much greater if I'd got it right around this level. But I typically like to wait for it to go through the whole number. So I got in at let's see, I took the trade at 42.16 right here as on this candle as it popped through the whole number. But I stopped myself out at 42.04 as it tried to go higher, and then it looked like it was going lower. So I actually stopped myself out, took the small loss on it, but I was still going to keep watching it. And on this action right here, these little three candles, again, it was sort of a narrowing candle, narrowing candles. And on this surge, I took the trade again at 42.46. And I exited half, and I got a little greedy, I have to admit. I exited half at 42.74, watched it get all the way up to 43.30, and I was, kind of hoping that I would get another dollar. Because remember, I'm in at 42.46 on the second half, and I was kind of hoping that I would get another dollar move on this one, and it didn't happen. I held it for a little bit, and then I sold it again right here. Basically, the first time I sold it was at 42.74, and the second time I sold it, I don't have it marked here, but it was at 42.74 also. So, only two stocks I traded today, and but again, if you can do one really profitable one a day, you can be set again, depending on how many shares that you sell. Now, somebody asked me, how am I able to hold on? Well, let's bring IT back again. And one of the things now this one worked out really well because I'm in here at 78.20, and within probably less than 10 minutes, I'm able to sell for over a dollar. But what I try to do is, if this had stalled right here, right about here, and it stalled a little bit, I probably would have taken half off or some portion off to make sure I made money on the play. That way, I can almost be assured that I'm going to make money on this stock, because even if it falls back down to my buy price, which I'd get out, so that means I've already locked in some profit. Psychologically, for me anyway, it's a lot easier than for me to hold on to a stock for a little while, even if it was jumping up. Now, this one didn't. I mean, this was pretty smooth going up, but it could have jumped up and down a little bit. But as long as it didn't come back down to my buy, there's a good possibility I would have kept it. Again, because I've locked in some gains at the beginning. And that's just me. I mean, this is not following any book I've read, or I just know me, my makeup. It would kill me to watch something like this go up and then it come back down in one candle right back to my buy, and I had a nice profit and I didn't take money. It would just it's just not in my nature to allow that to happen. So but by doing that, it allows me to stay in the second half of the trade, or whatever percentage I've decided to stay in, and allow it to run a little bit more. And this is now how I'm able to make some of these nice gains in these stocks. There's no magic formula, really. It's just a lot of it is just psychology. So that's it for today. Again, just two stocks, and we've the market was up great, 175 right now. We still have about half an hour left to go, and we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. Let me just bring back the cover page. Again, I will look for these disaster stocks in the pre-market, and then try to and if I can't find, let me just back up. Let me just go back to the here. Again, when I identify here was another one, cores. Let's just take a look at cores. Back up. And this was a stock. Here it is yesterday where it closed, and here look at this. So certainly I was watching this one, but look what happened in the pre-market. I mean, this is 7:15. Look what happened in the pre-market. It basically went up. Now, could I have taken the play right here? Yes. It's just, again, kind of not in my nature to do a lot of pre-market trading on things like this. I mean, look at this tail right there. I mean, I could have got in here, and that tail could have happened. And again, for me, psychologically, I would hate to start off the day like that. And I usually I rarely take stocks in the pre-market unless I've got an overnight or something that I've held, and maybe I'll get rid of it in the pre-market if it's looking good. But the problem with this one is that for me, the reversal was already taking took place. The majority of the reversal took place in the pre-market. So now you're having to, watch around with this sort of choppy action for the rest of the day. So cores didn't work out the way I went. And I think GMCR was the same thing. GMCR got really crushed in the pre-market. I mean, it was up here and it came back down all the way down here. I mean, it's down 550 right now, but it's at 115. At one point, it was at 108, so another $7. So, it was about $13 down at one point. But you see, again, it recaptured a lot of that in the pre-market. Yes, it dropped, and I suppose, maybe right here would have been an okay entry. But again, I think Green Mountain it can be very spready at times, and I've tried to trade it in the past, and I just find it very difficult. You have to take very few shares in because you can get whipped out in and out very quickly. But again, to me, the reversal was kind of destroyed when I get this action in the pre-market, and I'm not as interested. So that's when I'll turn to, excuse me, the this particular window, which doesn't necessarily, I mean, Green Mountain and the other ones would have been on here, but for instance, IT was not on here, or sorry, IT was not in the pre-market. I did not see it in the pre-market. It only came on in this window after I can't remember exactly when it happened, but FEIC was another one that came in. It didn't work out. This one, HSNY, another one I was looking at, but you see, it's only traded 500,000 shares for almost the whole day, and it's down $12. But again, where are you going to trade this? I mean, you could say, oh yeah, take it right there and it pops up. But I mean, where's that nice IT type of a rise that we see here? You don't see that in some of these other stocks. So now, having said that, HSNI is one that I'll probably, let's take a look at the daily chart. I'll probably take a look at this. And because it's way down here on the where is it now? Here we are. So it's got a huge gap, and have to see what happens with it in the next little while. But it's kind of thin. I mean, look, it's only 549,000 shares on a huge down day. So, on a day like this, you think there'd be millions of shares traded. So it's a very thinly traded stock. Anyway, now I'm done. Okay. Here is, again, the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.